Hey guys, this is Josh coming at you today from Ride Motos, and today we are talking all about the brand new 2023 Harley-Davidson CVO Street Glide and the CVO Road Glide. These motorcycles first surfaced about a couple months ago through some spy photos on social media and really took the internet by storm, but then the rumor mill kind of dried up and stopped, and we didn't hear a lot about what could be the brand new CVO lineup of a complete redesigned bagger platform that the motor company was putting out. And then out of the blue, Harley-Davidson has officially announced that coming on June 7th, they are going to be officially unveiling the brand new 2023 lineup of their CVO Street Glide and CVO Road Glide. And these motorcycles have gone through a complete redesign. So in this video today, we are going to go through all of the main differences. We're going to talk about the appearance, the headlight, the lightings. We're going to talk about the engine that's on these bikes. We're going to talk about the suspension, and then we're going to get into some speculation about what the price of these motorcycles would be. And then I'm sure the question that a lot of you guys are thinking, is this going to be enough to catapult Harley-Davidson into modernity? And are they taking some stylistic liberties and borrowing from other brands like Indian motorcycles? We're going to get into all of that and more right after this. Alright guys, well the first thing that we're going to talk about is the overall appearance of these motorcycles. So focusing in first on the Harley-Davidson Road Glide. This Road Glide underwent a complete redesign. This is one of the most dramatic shifts in design that Harley-Davidson has put out on their bagger motorcycles. Certainly the most comprehensive design overhaul that we've seen in the past few years on one of their existing bikes. So pretty much everything has changed on this bike, from the lines that exist on the fenders to the design of the fairing and even the incorporation of the headlights themselves into the body panels on the Harley-Davidson bagger lineup of motorcycles. We're going to see a complete redesigned headlight on the motorcycle. So historically, Harley-Davidson has introduced their dual Daymaker headlight on the Road Glide models, and this is actually going to move away from that and go to a single LED that still gives a little bit of homage to that dual Daymaker look, but it's going to be all one cohesive unit. And it does look like from the appearance that we're going to get some adaptive lighting included on this model. So what that means is Harley-Davidson has offered this technology, but it's always been in an aftermarket world where, depending on where you're leaning on the motorcycle, the headlight will actually cast more light to one way or the other, so that you're going to avoid some blind spots and turns. That is a huge addition to the Harley-Davidson lineup and much needed. One of the other things that is obvious on this motorcycle is how the headlight then flows seamlessly from the headlight into the turn signals that actually are going to cut into the fairing design of the bike. And while it is nice to have that functionality, it is definitely a design piece that's going to set this motorcycle back. And probably the one thing that I'm sure everybody is going to say is most similar to the Indian motorcycles and what they're doing on their bagger lineup currently. Interested to hear what your guys' thoughts are about the lighting specifically on this motorcycle, and whether or not you guys think like this is something that Harley-Davidson was unique in their design, or whether or not they maybe borrowed some of the design from the Indian team. Very interested to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Alright, so next we're going to start to look specifically at some of the design aspects of this motorcycle. We can see that the fairing has gone through a complete redesign. There's different lines in this. It's a different shape. It does look like a very similar lower fairing coming off of the big bat nose fairing, but then as we move back to the gas tank itself, the gas tank looks like it has gone through a complete redesign, has a little bit more of that teardrop kind of style. Definitely is going to pay homage to some of Harley-Davidson's lineup in the past and some of their heritage. It does look like, as we move back on the bike even more, that the side panels there have undergone a little bit of a redesign as well. And then if we make our way back all the way to the saddlebags look like they have some different contours and different shapes in them. And then of course we can see that this CVO lineup of motorcycle is going to come stock with the Rockford Fosgate system built into the saddlebags themselves. So those are really cool for people that want it. But it is worth noting that you do sacrifice some room in the saddlebags to make way for the speakers and amps that exist inside of it. Alright, and then next we're actually going to look at the Street Glide, because it's a little bit different than the Road Glide. So the Street Glide is going to have a single LED, what looks like kind of an upgraded version of the Daymaker headlight on it. Very interested to see if that adaptive technology exists within the Street Glide as well as the Road Glide. And then of course up top you're going to have those beautiful horizontal lines that are cut out on the fairing itself that are going to be for auxiliary lighting, and then as well as the integrated turn signals that are going to exist on the motorcycle. Definitely a clean, sleek design that Harley-Davidson has incorporated into this bike, and it definitely is a statement piece. All right, so next we're going to talk about the suspension on this motorcycle. So this is something that has been a long time overdue, but finally on the Bagger lineup of motorcycles, we officially have inverted front end forks on the Harley-Davidson motorcycle. This has been something that more and more people have been doing as an aftermarket option on their baggers, especially in the world of performance baggers. People have been putting this inverted front end. So it's very cool to see Harley-Davidson listening to what people are already doing and making the decision to put this on their bagger lineup of motorcycles as a stock option. And while we can't see the rear suspension, we can only assume that the rear shocks have been upgraded to accommodate for the already upgraded front suspension. One of the things I am particularly excited about is the trickle-down effect that happens on the CVO lineup of motorcycles. So traditionally, Harley-Davidson will introduce new technologies and new features on their highest-end motorcycles. Those are going to be your CVO lineup bikes. And then what ends up happening is Harley-Davidson will then trickle that technology or trickle down that suspension into some of their more base model bikes like the Road Glide Special or the Street Glide or even the Road King Special. So as somebody who's probably more in the demographic that's going to ride a Road Glide Special as opposed to a CVO, I'm excited to eventually get these inverted front end forks on my motorcycle stock, and we can look for those things in the 2024 or even 2025 lineup of Harley-Davidson bagger motorcycles. All right, next we're going to talk about the engine of the bike. So we can see on this motorcycle, and it is no surprise that Harley-Davidson went all out, and we have a 121 engine on the bike. That is going to be the largest stock motorcycle engine that Harley-Davidson has ever put out on a motorcycle. And while Harley does offer a 131 crate option, that is something that you would have to get aftermarket. And so CVO motorcycles up to this point have had a whopping 117. And so this is a huge step up from the 117 engine. They're putting this 121 in there. It's going to be built on the Milwaukee M8 platform, but as we can even see behind that 121 badging, we're going to get a big in-your-face air cleaner that's certainly bigger than the larger options on this motorcycle. So excited to see the power numbers that this bike is putting out. That coupled with the upgraded suspension, this motorcycle is definitely going to be a step in the direction of that performance bagger that you're going to get stock from the motorcycle. And then a huge upgrade in the way of the engine is going to be the variable valve timing feature that these motorcycles are going to start to come with. And again, I'm excited to hear about the trickle-down effect that will happen as a result of that. So excited to see this variable valve timing make its way onto some of the other models of the Harley-Davidson motorcycle lineup. All right, so styling and painting, the motorcycles are going to come in 2 total paint colors. It's going to have kind of this gunmetal silver paint color that we can see right now in the official photos from Harley-Davidson. And the other paint color is going to be announced here in the next couple days, but you can expect something that's going to be bold, loud, in your face. So Harley-Davidson has always done a really good job at making a distinct paint color specifically for their CVO lineup, and with a paint color that's a little more subdued, a little more behind the scenes, I can expect that this motorcycle is going to come in, is going to be loud, it's going to be in your face, it's going to be bright. We can expect something like a flashy red or a yellow or a lime green or a blue, something that is just over the top. Or maybe we'll even see a red that's going to play off of the 120-year anniversary edition motorcycles that were recently released. That would be an amazing feature. Super excited to see the paint colors that are coming next. So I'm sure the thing that everybody's wondering is, what's the price of this motorcycle going to be? Harley-Davidson is already known as one of the most premium motorcycle options. And the question is, how much is this motorcycle going to be? Well, we know that with all of the major improvements that Harley-Davidson made from this, from the lighting to the bodywork to the engine to the suspension of this motorcycle, we can anticipate a pretty hefty price increase from the past CVO lineup of motorcycles. And I would guess that this motorcycle is going to be north of $45,000, probably closer to the $46,000, $47,000, or maybe even $48,000 $100,000 mark, but definitely can expect it to be in that upper echelon of motorcycles, which really puts this motorcycle in a class of its own. There's only a couple motorcycles that exist today that you can buy from a factory that are more money than that, and you start to talk about the Ducati Panigale Superleggera and some ultra premium motorcycles like that. These Harley-Davidson bikes are going to be some of the most expensive motorcycles that money can buy. And with that, they're going to come with all the bells and whistles. You're going to get the custom grips. You're going to get heated grips. You're going to get the brand new infotainment system that Harley-Davidson is making on this bike. You're going to get everything that the motor company can throw at this bike. And the question is that going to be enough? Interested to hear in the comment section if you guys feel like this motorcycle is going to appeal to a demographic, or if this is just further highlighting something that Harley-Davidson has struggled with for a long time, and that is specifically making motorcycles that appeal to an older demographic where they struggle to capture the younger people. One thing I will say for myself personally, I'm excited to see some of the technological advancements that the motor company is making. They're step in the right direction of including things like adaptive headlights, inverted front end forks, larger engines, a newly redesigned infotainment system, to me are a huge step in the right direction of making Harley-Davidson a competitive motorcycle in the market. The question is, are they going to keep on raising the prices and further alienating those younger people, of which they have dramatically said are the key people that they're trying to go after in the future? But in summary, these motorcycles are beautiful. It made a splash. I'm curious to hear what your guys' comments are. So if you have comments on this motorcycle, please take some time, drop a comment down below. Curious to hear what your thoughts are. If you feel like this is a step in the right direction, or even talk about some of the similarities between this motorcycle and the Indian Bagger lineup. I know that is a huge topic right now on the internet. Harley-Davidson's vice president of design and their creative director said, "These all new and unquestionably Harley-Davidson designs bring a cohesive and dynamic flow from the front fenders to the saddlebags." And it's no question that Harley-Davidson really went above and beyond to completely redesign a motorcycle that feels a little bit more modern, that feels like they're pushing the envelope. And the question is Harley-Davidson going to be able to push the envelope while still retaining that thing that makes a Harley-Davidson, well, feel like a Harley? Is it going to rumble? Is it going to have that nostalgia? Is it still going to appeal to a wide enough demographic that they're able to push the envelope and make some of these much needed improvements and still be able to capture a younger demographic of rider? That is the question here. I'm excited to put my hands on one of these in person as soon as they land in North America. We're going to be bringing those videos and more like that to you in the future. Hey, if you guys have liked this video, if you want to see more content like this, please remember to go check out ridemotos.com. That is www.ridemotos.com for all of your motorcycle content needs. And if you have liked this video itself, please smash the like button, give us a subscribe. That helps out more than you know. Follow us on social media. That is at RideMotos Official. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Till we meet again. Peace.